You know, every corner you turn, somebody is a pastor. You're like, but why are we not rather making more farms? Every corner you turn, somebody is a pastor. The person wants to pray for you. I'm like, but pray for yourself first. Better your lot before you seek to pray for others. Unemployed, it looks like it's an escape route out of unemployment for a lot of them.
Really?
And a lot of them are
pastoral ministry.
Yes,
an escape route to unemployment.
Yes, the mushroom churches. It provides.
But you were not there when God called them.
But your body is the temple of God.
Yeah.
You are the temple of God. Musa Dakwa is temple. I'm temple of God. Your body is the temple of God. How many more do we need, right? We've had the Orthodox churches, they helped in molding us, all this while they have the numbers. But, you know, I could feel say, there is that thing. You see, I think unemployment is a huge push factor for this pastors. So it pushes a lot of people into their arms because people are desperate. People are, you know, they need a message of hope, a message, you know, to keep them alive. So once you start preaching that you will find a job tomorrow, you will have a baby next year by this time, etc., then it draws people, right? So I think it's the social situation. Right. It's the social situation. So you look at it, you look at even theories of social change. This is one of the factors that's pushing the churches up. So I believe that the government should take a firm stand on it. In Rwanda, for instance, they say you can't be a pastor without a proper degree in theology. Yeah, and they've clamped down a lot on them because, to be honest, a lot of them you just see that this is just preying on human beings. It's not proper this pastoral work, etc. No. It's just so many of them, they are in the Orthodox churches and then they break away to go and create churches. Then after 30 years, then they themselves, they are collapsing. That's why when we were young, people, they used to tell us, you hear parents saying, I'm not attending a church I'm older than. You hear parents say, I'm not attending a church. You see, and as you grow, then you see that there's wisdom in it. True. Some started, they were bastardizing the Catholic Church. Today, they are in cassocks like bishops. Then you're like, but 30 years ago, you said the Catholic cassock and this were not biblical. Today, they are wearing more cassocks than even the Catholics. There are more bishops than even the Pope, etc. Right? So this religious thing, Charlie, it's a real constraining factor in the way we develop. Look, you even wake up at dawn when we should be discussing proper ideas to develop. People are praying and praying and praying and praying and not doing commensurate work.
You're not taking out the real importance of prayer as well. I don't think that's
No. Oh, no, I'm a prayerful person. But what I'm saying is that there's a disconnect. It's disproportionate. Yes. Look, Sunday, immediately after this, from 9 a.m. to 12, you tune in a lot of the radios. It's all prayers. After 12, it's all. I'm like, but this, you don't use much of the energy to come and force to make the governance system better. Somebody said something profound. That look, if we had just simply stopped stealing in Ghana, there will be a lot to go around. The resources will go around a lot. Simple. We have a problem. We are basically people in charge are stealing. That is the problem. You don't want to come onto the street to help fix that problem. You are praying. How is God going to come down? Then God will come down when you fill the streets to complain that, look, you are stealing no matter what. We can't say that we must catch you red-handed before, but we can see that like 52.5 billion vanished from GCB account. Since December 2020, the Auditor General said, Ekwiyama Esiedu said he will come out with a report. This is a self-fear. He has not done it, and he's drawing a salary. And then instead of you to come out and demonstrate against Johnson Ekwiyama Esiedu, you are busy praying. What kind of logic is that? How is God going to come down and do anything about that? So the problem is that we are stealing. We are just stealing. Okay. So if you want to fix unemployment, etc., let's talk about fixing the stealing that we are stealing both in the private sector and the public sector.
Well, thank you very much for...
It's a tussle. It's a fight. You have to find something against the other person to say. And then you have to reflect that over on yourself.
True.
I think my senior and the Apiakubi is shortchanging the MPP. If he says that Dr. Brane Champong did well because he was decent and all these things, frankly speaking, apart from maybe one exception, they were all very decent. That's very important to me because...
I was invited to talk about my candidate.
I know, but you see, that's what I'm saying. You give the wrong impression. Because, see, it is important for those of us who watch And I also signal that to the youth and all these other persons who you find fighting over everybody that look at the campaign that was run. Look at how Kofi Bentil handled himself. Look at how Dr. Duchum handled himself. Look at how Dr. Brian Champon handled himself. Okay, apart from a few situations concerning Kennedy where clear lies were told and all those things, that was a decent campaign. And it was a hard campaign. So if you say Dr. Brian Champon, threw a few jabs, if you don't, how are you going to survive in this thing? So, and the target is, Dr. Bawumia. So I think I can forgive him for that. I want to commend them for running a very serious campaign. I mean, nobody, even at the last moment when Musa Dankwa, if Musa Dankwa got it wrong, somebody would have cut my head off.
Absolutely.
Because I said, look, I am also a researcher. I believe what he's saying. Forget about the prophets. Okay, so I'm happy he does his work. You have consistently said that.
Absolutely.
I'm happy we have people in this country who do the work, do it well, and can say well. But clearly, it was a very hard-fought campaign. So look, kudos to Dr. Brian Champon, but also to the NPP and those who have all kinds of things to say about this particular strategy of running this primary at this time. Look, they will be shamed. I think it's very good strategy that they did what they did at this time. And all the naysayers who are talking about this was cooked for Dr. Bawumia, whatever it is, you saw how the battle went down. It was never assured, but for people like Musa Dankwa, there were people who were swearing on their whole lives that this will go a different way. So kudos to MPP, and I believe they will just get better from now.
We're going to get into it right now. I think getting better from
and
now,
we have
and how the path will be. Martin Kpebu, as I indicated earlier, was just being made up. He's joined us now in his. This is. You didn't wear the fugu.
Martin is always very unpredictable.
I do say fugu.
The feel with the.
Yes, I like
I'm supporting my president.
Yes, it's been fugu throughout the week.
I answer fugu very colorful. Next week,
Supporting my president.
next week I'll come in the kente. So I told you I forehead.
Kente cloth.
Yes, kente fugu.
We will enjoy
Yeah.
it. No, I thought you said kente cloth.
Yes, it's a kente cloth I made into fugu. I have like five or so of them. Yeah.
Why don't you bring the cloth also?
Okay, we can look at that.
We'll put it all together. Indeed, thank you for joining us. Good morning.
Okay. Yeah, good morning, morning. Yeah, it's good to be here once again. Yeah, Kofi. Yeah. Oh, this morning before the normal rituals, I'm like, so the Ghanaian man and to a smaller extent the Ghanaian woman, when are we going to stop peeing outside? Yeah.
Do you have public pee places?
So we should start a conversation.
That conversation was hard. I was part of it at a point.
Yes.
Some people were going to take some money to supposedly set up washrooms across for tourism.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's like a bylaw about filling stations. Have to have it. Yeah. It's part of what they have to do. MPA has to enforce it. If they simply enforce it, filling stations are the place. Elsewhere, when we travel, who dare you go and stand somewhere?
Exactly.
You go into the service station and these things, they are there. So they should just it's this country, we don't have problems. So just get filling stations to have clean washrooms. That's all. That will improve tourism. That was somebody wanted to do procurement on it.
Yeah,
wow.
It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. Yesterday, a young lady came in front of my house. I mean, not directly for the next house. She was peeing. I was like, Jesus. Then this morning, as I was coming here, the same thing. Right in the middle of people, a young man just stood. And he was just, I rolled. I know yesterday, so because she's a lady, I think my instincts were not the same, be kind towards women, so I couldn't say anything. So you can imagine that I had transferred aggression. So when I saw the young man this morning, no, he didn't have it easy. I dealt with him, told him that would be the last time that he should do such a thing. So let's look at it. Because it's been on my mind for a few weeks now. Okay, let's do something about it.
This is a campaign that you can run for all of us to support.
Yeah.
And we, for once, let's move away from over-politicizing issues. And let's bring home issues that will court everybody's support. And this is one
the solution is there. Filling stations should simply have
and even beyond the filling stations, because the stretch from here to there, we should create places where people can ease themselves. Yeah. Because these things are involuntary. When it comes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and in the meantime, those with cars, look, we were taught long ago. So you have to have empty bottles in your car. So when you do it in the car, put in a bottle. I have more than 10 bottles over a decade now. If you go out and I open my car in the boot, I have more than 10 bottles for over a decade. We were taught this in early 20s. You know, you travel out and you are taught the first and that, hey, always have a bottle around your backpack or in your car.
And don't think every passenger in the car is a male.
Yeah, that's right. So the females will deal with that. So and then the second part. So to be after the so for Kufu Yasantua, Doma Hini Osia Adeyo Ajimembe do the second, and Kentucky Tech will through the second. Thank you for speaking up when a lot of Ghanaians found it very convenient to keep quiet. They didn't want to talk about the bad governance. You did, and we'll forever allow you for that. And our Ghanaian men above 40, please do the needful. You have to do the prostate check. Let's not lose you unnecessarily. Thank you. And now 52.5 billion. So now Kofi Bentil has taken the another petition, this one to Yoko, because he's not seeing the work OSP is doing on the 52.5 billion that vanished from GCB account in 2020, which was an election year. So our minds are that, was that money used for elections in 2020? It's a legitimate question to ask, because until the Auditor General brings out the report, it's a legitimate inference to make that could that money have been used for the 2020 elections? Okay, so we hope maybe Mr. Raymond Acha can do a better job of it. Okay, right. Thank you.
I thank you very much. And we've had those initial thoughts on the outcome of the NPP presidential primaries last week. You were convinced by Dr.
Evans Dua. Yes.
Last week when I brought him. And Mr. Bentil says something that eventually sort of played out, because he's just sent me, Dr. Dua was to join us this morning, he sent a statement. Because Musa, you said any pollster, researcher who gets it wrong must come and explain, right? And that's what you posted, right?
Polling is a science.
It's absolutely. So come and explain why we got it wrong. But, well, your conviction didn't come to pass.
I was hoping, yes, GSO looked more rational, though we also accept that voting is not really rational, because it's a lot of visceral politics. So when we say visceral politics, it's a lot of emotions, okay? It's a lot of gut feeling, etc., right? And so, well, it's not too surprising. It's just that it's sad that the NPP have chosen to go down that
It is necessary
route,
to make this
because
point behind what you are saying about voting, being visceral, whatever. You see, to the extent that posters like Musa Dankwa, if they do the science right, can predict over time, and close to the time can give you a 90+% level of assurance, tells you that that science, and the whole point about science is the empirical method. It can be replicated. If you use the same method, you arrive at the same point. Let me say this, which is very well known. People would accept things that work with their emotion. Things that sit well with you, you are more likely to accept them.
True.
So when Evans came here and was saying the things that Martin says, all this time it's been Musa Dankwa telling us something. And it didn't sit well with him, because we know where his emotions lie. So when Evans came and whatever he was saying went in that direction, he just jumped on it. That is what is called prejudice.
No,
I'm not.
It's also science.
No.
Negative bias. Because Bawumia obviously carries a huge baggage. Extremely huge.
No, don't go there.
That's a problem. So that's a problem. You go and vote for somebody who is obviously going to lose. Musa Dankwa, haven't you said that any candidate...
We are talking about polling.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying.
And there's a tendency of people to shift in a certain direction that their emotion moves them in more than their mind. That's why prophets have the sway they have. That's why people like Martin, who don't like Bawumia, don't want to hear Musa Dankwa. Look, Musa Dankwa is not a Bawumia supporter.
Oh, no, but who said so?
I haven't said so. What I'm saying that when the facts are put down, let us all put our emotions aside and follow the facts as much as possible.
So the point I'm making, you see, so it's a clash of two sciences. The psychologists will tell you that negative bias is huge, right, in elections. We remember the negatives. So the moment you put Bawumia on the ballot box, that is the return of Kufuor, right? And so that is going to hit him bad. But he's not going to make it. So that is it. So that's a negative. That is science. It's science. It's science. It's psychology. I'm talking about. I'm also talking science. It's psychology. Google it. What is negative bias?
What you're talking about is subjective.
No, that's psychology.
Objective.
It's subjective. Say so. I'll come to you.
It's election psychology. It's election psychology. Voter psychology. So voter psychology, they'll tell you that negative bias, what is it? That people would tend to prefer and remember the negatives. So the moment you see Bawumia, from banking crisis to the CD to inflation to DDEP, over 850,000 persons falling below unemployment, poverty line. He signed a contract. They were going to steal $800 million. They are married. He signed it. It was Bawumia who signed. It wasn't even a Kufuor who asked Bawumia to sign when the Kufuor
better than this.
You see, on that part, interrogate that.
Yeah, it's science. It's also science. So he's doing polling. I'm also talking psychology. Invite all the psychologists to come and tell you voter psychology. The moment you see Bawumia, so when they say baggage, you see, until we started saying, until we started calling psychology, anytime we say no, Bawumia would lose because of what he did with Kufuor. It's psychology we say, except that we just didn't mention the word psychology. Then people say, oh, you haven't said anything. So now we want to mention all the terms. Negative bias, it will eat Bawumia.
Okay. So we'll see how the negative bias will play out, because we've
and
just
you
done
let us comment on that.
No, I'll come to you. Yes, I'll come to you. As to how that baggage show, as has been put, would be handled by the MPP going forward, or how that will impact on Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia's candidature, because Martin Kpebu is not the only one who's made this point about the baggage that Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia absolutely carries into this. And so this is one that obviously is not lost out on the New Patriotic Party as a political party. But the nation's poster is here. I mean, you've seen him already on the screen. Musa Dankwa, it's good to have you. Congratulations is in order.
It's normal for me.
It's not for you.
I said it's normal.
Normal? It's
yes,
normal?
Yes.
Almost perfect prediction. You said 57%.
Yeah.
It turned out to be what? 56.5. You ran it up to 57%.
Yeah.
How did you do it? I mean,
it is science.
It's science.
It is science, nothing else. I don't have juju. I don't use juju. I don't use any tricks.
No,
it's the science.
something we were asking about whether there's something else that you use inside there.
It is the consistency at which you apply the methodology and rigor, and taking your heart out of the data.
Thank you.
I see. You were ready to put your almost 7-year credibility and consistency on the line for this.
I didn't even have to do that, because people will judge you by what the outcome is. And if you claim you're doing a thing in a very scientific way, drawing from the same sample that others drew from, you shouldn't get different outcomes. Science doesn't work like that.
Yes. Really?
If I draw your blood to a Lancet lab to do malaria test, and take the same sample
to another
lab, you test, if you have malaria, both here and there, malaria is there.
This is objective.
That is if you are testing for malaria.
Malaria.
Unless you're looking for something else. Okay, that's important. But okay, so but this is what Dr. Evans Dia put out. So I just want to this is Dr. Evans Dia. He sent me this because last week the two of you were at opposite ends and you were making your case strongly, convincingly at some point. It says every political process offers lessons. Data shows who is ahead. Strategy decides who stays ahead. The delegates have spoken. I commend the NPP, Development in Freedom, Leadership, appreciate my research team, and extend my congratulations to Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. The focus is unity and collective task ahead. So this is the next one that he put out. The final note. Data captures stated preferences. Elections reveal actual behavior. The space between the two is where strategy, persuasion, and late-stage alignment operate, particularly in delegate-based systems, where final decisions often crystallize beyond observable research windows. This has been a very fruitful exercise for my research team. It goes on and on. It says that some delegates expressed one position during interviews, yet voted differently on D-Day. Is itself a meaningful finding and may merit deeper inquiry into what we have come to describe as a phenomenon of fear delegates. Fear delegates. Ultimately, research shows direction. Politics determines destination. The outcome reflects those final dynamics, and the overriding priority remains unity and collective. So the point you make is, because he is boiling his failed research outcome to the phenomenon of the fear delegates, because it's the same samples that you went to them, they were truthful to you as to where they were going, but he said they lied to him. What happened?
You see, beside methodology, the tools you deploy to engage the respondents, the mode of engagement, and those who are on the other side engaging delegates, and lack of credibility on the part of the poster also affects the responses you get. They know us. And when we call them, we say, we are Global Info Analytics.
Right.
Before we start.
So you clearly indicate your identity, your objective.
Absolutely. So that they don't misconstrue us to be from Bawumia's camp or Ken's camp or Brian's camp. And you see, I've seen some do delegate interviews face to face. That is a recipe for disaster.
Why is that?
Oh, face-to-face delegate interview.
Right. So you do phone calls?
We do phone calls.
Okay. And Dr. Dia was quite clear and sincere in his bias last week that he belongs to the NPP, he's a member of the NPP, and also doing this for Ken Japan. So you say that may have probably...
for him to disclose that, I think should have been the warning sign to many who were reading his report. Clearly, this is an internal work that he's done.
It was a warning sign to himself.
Okay.
Hold on.
Please.
So it is very, very difficult to take an internal polling data and throw the other to the public to see. Because naturally, those numbers don't get thrown out there because it shows strategy. It shows direction.
Sure.
Why would you put that to the public to see what you are doing for your opponent to launch on it? So clearly, when they do that, that's not the true story they are telling.
Okay. Mr. Bentil, last week you had indicated it's not only the researchers or the other pollsters that failed, but the prophecies as well. You said something last week about God not being interested in what happens in election outcomes.
In a fair contest, take a football match. There are Christians on both sides. In a political contest like this, there are Christians. Everybody's praying. Yes. Why should God take a side? Okay, God has made the universe and set things in motion. Okay, and if you do the right thing, you know, or you reap what you sow.
Sure.
This whole idea, and I say this because it's important, and some of these false prophets, and I emphasize false, suggest that they can do some things and make a certain outcome happen.
True.
It's a lie from the pit of hell. And people should discard them, and when you hear those people, just rubbish them, because they are a noise in our ears. Okay? So, I mean, I've said consistently, if we didn't have posters, look, if Dr. Evans Dia was the only person doing this, and he ended up failing this abysmally, and he wrote all this plenty English, we will say, yes, maybe something has happened. Thank God Musa Dankwa exists. All right? And like I said, we did some polls in the past, and we happen to have found the truth. Some of it will not be palatable to you, but if you are, you have fidelity to the science, you put your emotions aside, and then you let the science speak. Going forward, that is what we have to do. If somebody can do it and do it right, then anybody who didn't do it right should not blame anything else. You simply didn't get it right. And as for this thing about the prophets and all those things, look, we are kind of, I won't even say religious society. Okay, we are superstitious. We tend to believe that there are some other forces beyond what our efforts can give us, and we want to resort to them. We all go to church, but we tend to overdo it, and that's what gives some of these people some of these spaces to infiltrate and really basically disturb us. All right. I mean, if you see the number of prophecies, and now people are talking about death and all kinds of things. I have seen some; they are totally despicable, and I'm staying on this thing because look, IGP Dampare stamped this thing down. My brother, if somebody comes to tell you that I'm a prophet and I've prophesied 3 times and it comes to pass, and I think you are going to die tomorrow, whoever you are, even if you don't believe in God, it will have an effect on you. It will change something about you. It's a disturbance. And any nation that allows too many of these noisemakers to keep going around and disturbing us is not going to prosper. And look at the level to which it's gotten to. And I'm telling you, it was serious. It was serious. Okay? Some of the people who prophesied were taken very seriously. So I think it's time, without knocking the religious group and without whatever it is, let's have a certain handle on what we are calling these prophecies, etc. And when it comes to some of this, let us know that God is not partial. God rewards effort. Okay, and even though God has a hand in the affairs of men, one man of God said that God does not choose leaders in Africa.
God does not choose leaders.
He does not choose leaders in Africa.
Oh,
if God were the chooser of leaders in Africa, then he would have done a very poor job. Because African leaders have been in the past 100 years terrible, abysmal. They have been terrible leaders. If God were choosing Idi Amin and all the dictators that we have seen, then he's such a terrible person to be choosing these leaders for us. So we need to clear our minds of these things. All right? If we organize ourselves well, okay, we will see the effects that we need to see. Listen, people who talk about God, Germany, all right, Germany, they took Jews, the people of God, killed at least 6 million of them, all right, turned around, said sorry, proceeded to work hard, do the right things. Today, look at where they are. They are leading Europe. Okay, I can give you many examples of situations which, if we were going to deal with God coming down to do things, you won't see it. Germany, the one who, when we talk about ancestral curses and all the things and God doing this, the people who killed 6 million Jews, okay, they are a developed nation thriving. They are one of the best countries in the whole world.
Yeah.
All right. So look, we need to tamp down on the noise making coming from the religious sector and listen more to people like Bosa Dankwa.
Fidelity to the science, less of emotions.
Yes.
And
there is a science. Do it right. Less emotions.
I see. Now, on that same path, just quickly on this.
Oh yeah, Kofi has a great point